Hello guys, in today's tutorial I will be discussing how we can design our interface using Bootstrap. So let's create a new project. To do that, you go to your drive C, you go to your 164. If you are having the 32-bit version, you might have just WAMP without the 64. If you have WAMP 64 or just WAMP, you are good to go. So now inside that folder we have the www folder. So in the www folder we'll create our new project. Let's call this tutorial. We'll call this project tutorial. So now after creating the project folder called tutorial, we can now go to the Saplan text editor to start development. So now before we start the development, let me take you through how Bootstrap works. Bootstrap was designed to help developers ease designing their interfaces. Instead of you doing all the coding yourself, Bootstrap makes it easier for you to design your interface without doing much coding. So now let's start our project. So in this, you can click on File, New File. So in the new file, let's save it as now the project we are working on now is the tutorial. So we navigate to the www folder and select tutorial. Good. So inside the www folder, we open the tutorial that we've created. That's the folder. And since this is the first page, we'll save it as index.html. So after saving this index.html, you can now type in the HTML to get the structure of HTML codes. So me typing HT, the autocomplete comes. As click on enter for it to generate this code for me. So in the title I'm going to type Bootstrap tutorial. So let's load what we've done so far. To do that, we go to our browser, and we'll do localhost/tutorial. We are using tutorial here because that's the name of the folder we created in the www folder. Good. So now loading tutorial has given us a blank page, but as you can see on top here, we have our title there. That's the title we wrote. Okay. So to use Bootstrap on any page, the first thing is to get the Bootstrap source code into your project. I'll provide the links to this source code in the description. So I have it here. So when you also get these files, you copy the Bootstrap folder, copy it, go to your where your project is. That's the 164 www and the tutorial. So I'm pasting the Bootstrap folder inside my project. Now when you download the files I will be putting at the description, you see a text file. This text file contains the needed link for you to use Bootstrap. So the top part of the file, you can copy it and copy the top part of the file in your in our index.html, I'll be putting this link in at the end. I hope you got this. What I did was copy the link and paste it below the title. Now the bottom part, copy the down part of the code, scroll down your page just below the closing tag of the body. Here you can paste the down part there. With this, you've just made Bootstrap available to be used in your code. Now the first thing we'll be doing is how you can separate your interface into different partition. And what I mean by partition, let's do that. So we already talked about div in the previous tutorial. So now Bootstrap works with classes. So what I'll do now, to this div, I'll do class is equal to row div class called md4 div class called md4 div class called md4. I'm going to put inside this first, I'm going to put first column. Inside here I'm going to put second column. Inside here I'm going to put third column. So doing this, try. Let's go to the project and see what we've done. Now you can see that you have the first text we typed here is at the first column here. The second column is actually on the same line but far from the first column, and the same thing happens to the third. Now how this works is that take the whole screen as 12. For everything it's 12. You can consider it to be 12. And what you've done is separate the whole screen into 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So now that's how this 4 came to be. So cool md4 means this is the first. When you divide the screen into 3, this is the first column, this is the second column, and this is the third column. Assuming you want to divide the screen into 2, that means 12 divided by 2, that's 6. So you should have cool md6 and cool md6. We've exhausted this, so there should be no third one. So cool md6 colon md6, and we've typed first column inside the first one, second column in the second one. Now let's see what happens. Have you seen how there are 2 different columns, and so that's how it works. If you want 4 columns, that means 12 divided by 4, 3. So that means you should do cool md4 3 cool md3 4 times. Okay, let's do that. We want to divide the screen into 4 different portions. So we'll do 12 divided by 4 is 3. So cool md3 So I'm going to copy this column d3. So I'm having 4 column d3s and third and fourth. So this means, let's see, have you seen now? You have first column, second column, third column, fourth column. They are arranged in columns. First column is here, second column is here, third column is here, fourth column is here. So that's how the Bootstrap works with row. We'll be using this feature we'll be using it in almost all throughout the design. So now that we know how the rows works, let's get to table. Now the previous tutorial we did a table, but it wasn't really nice, but we actually did table. So Bootstrap also we'll do the same thing using Bootstrap now. So now we do our, since we want to partition the screen, we create a div class, we call it row. Now this time I want us to group to partition the screen into two. That means 12 divided by 2, that's 6. So we have div class call empty 6, div class call empty 6. Actually this call starts for column and empty is for medium. We talk about, so in the first column I'm going to design a table inside here. So we say table, first row, we want this table to have 4 columns, so put td first. We did this in the previous tutorial. Let's check it out. Second, third, fourth. So let's duplicate this so that we have 2 rows and 4 columns in each row. So now if I refresh my page, you've seen that the table has been created here and it's at the first column of the screen. Now let's apply Bootstrap to this table. To apply Bootstrap to this table, we go to the opening tag of table and we do class is equal to table. The moment you do this, Bootstrap will be applied to the table. Have you seen it? It's now better than what we have previously. And notice something. The table ends at half of the screen. Have you seen? And that's because we are doing it in the first 6. So in the other 6, if you decide to do another table, class table div str td first. This time let's do just 2 columns. First, second, third. So I'm going to copy this. Now you see that I've seen that this is actually 2 tables, just that the first one occupies the half of the screen and the second occupies the other half of the screen, and that's because of the 6 you've used. I hope you understand this. So that's all for table. Now the next thing I would like to introduce you to is the alerts. To use alerts in Bootstrap, alert is usually used to show notification to user. So we have the success alert and the error alert. So let's do the success alert instead. So you can create a div here and do class is alert. Now the first alert means we're actually doing alert, and the second alert, the success, means what type of alert do you want. So when I do alert success means it's an alert. what type of alert is it? Then it's a success one. So this is success message. So when we do this and refresh, you see we have a green text on a light green background. So this is actually a success message form of alert. So we can do the other one using a div also. Class is alert danger. So again, this time we are saying it's alert, alright. But what type of alert is it? It's a danger alert, not success in this case. So this is a danger alert. So when we do this, it means the text will be read on a light red background. So you can actually see the difference. So the next thing we're talking about is how you position text. In this case, if you notice, the text on the alert is actually aligned to the left. So assuming we want it to come to the center, we don't want it at the left. So what you actually do is apply another class. So to apply another class, and the name of that class is text center. So when you do text center to anything, it actually sends the text to the center. Everything. I added text center to the class of this text danger. To do the same thing to the success message, you can just come here and do text center. So don't be tricked and don't be if you do this class, you can't have two classes in just one element. When you do this, it's wrong. Please don't do that. This is the end of this tutorial. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.